All right, shall we dive into our guidance? Okay. This has been so, the point of doing what's fun, fast, and easy versus what's hard, scary, leaning into your fear and putting in the work has been a real theme for me in the past week. It always has been. It's always something I have to remind myself, because this is one of the hardest things, right, you guys? Is it's really hard. If you're watching me, I literally have 3 cameras on me right now. I'm like, which one do I look at? I want to look at this one, and I think it doesn't screw me up too much on the other ones. Because this one's the live where we take, we literally, this one camera on me, you guys, is where we take clips. And this is just like a little piece of advice. We literally cut the one camera into clips and like deliver tons of content just by taking clips from the one podcast video. It's really cool what we're doing for like 10xing our content delivery. So as you know from the last podcast, so those of you guys who are watching live, I had to make literally a life-changing decision last week. And it really reminded me that I need to talk to you guys about not only making hard decisions, but leaning into your fear and actually putting in the work. Because it just baffles me in the world today that we're still kind of promoting quick fixes and doing what's fun, fast, and easy. And the truth is if you want to balance your root chakra and your solar plexus chakra and even your sacral, you have to put in the work. You have to push through the fear. You have to do what's hard. And what kills me too is that a lot of people will give up right before their big breakthrough. Or another thing that was mentioned in the last guidance, the last podcast, was that they just fail to choose. We have a big decision to make and they fail to choose. They kind of know what's right, but it's so fucking hard to actually go and do that because you're so worried about regret. So you just kind of sit in there, your comfort zone, and you don't make decisions. You drop relationships too early because it's just too hard to solve the problems. You stay single because falling in love again might just be too scary. You don't want to take the risk. You just don't do it because you're scared of failing. Or you kind of sit around and be distracted and not actually do things because you're afraid of success. Or you procrastinate and the hardest thing that you do is left last on the list and then it gets neglected each day. One of the biggest things I tell you guys, especially, Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog. If you haven't read that book, read Brian Tracy Eat That Frog, where he talks about the frog being the ugliest thing on your to-do list. Put it to the top. And you should always be starting with the hardest thing that day on the top. And by the way, what I'm talking about right now is still super hard for me to implement. But I always want you guys to remind yourself that you will be rewarded by putting in the hard work. And really there's no other option anymore, you guys. Like there's no quick fixes. To me, giving up isn't an option, Jessica. I hope you hear this, because I think you and me have been going through this lesson in a similar way. Because it's just so hard to make decisions and move forward into the life you want. And it's sometimes easier just to think about not doing it or giving up. And I'm not going to lie, that has crossed my mind. So, for those of you who are live, I love you all. I'm not going to give shout outs because I have 2 other cameras to focus on. If you do have any questions, put in the chat. Anyone who's listening to the podcast, please reach out, PM me, message me. And of course, Jessica, if you have any comments about what I'm saying, just put it in the chat. Okay? That's the problem with today. That's the reason why you aren't succeeding. The reason why you aren't succeeding, why you're poor, why you're stuck is because there's still areas in your life where you're doing what's fun, fast, easy, not making decisions, not leaning into fear, not putting in the work, not doing what's hardest first. I'm guilty of this at times, but you're doing that in some area of your life and it's keeping you stuck. There's something where you're like, I'll do what's fun, fast, and easy first. Or, I'm not going to make a decision because it's just too hard to make that decision and follow through with it. You decide to go out and have a beer instead of finishing the project that's so near and dear to your heart. You decide to, and this one, like, really guilty of, you decide to just not stick to a meal plan or not be healthy because it's too hard. And then you get fat. And you wonder why you're not at your ideal weight. I'm going to give you a little trick during this little guidance. And it's not necessarily easy, it takes time, but it's how we make the hard stuff easier. So the first thing, stealing it from the book Atomic Habits. Here we go. This is just the Brittany version of it. If you haven't read Atomic Habits, get that fucking book immediately. Okay? How you make hard things a little easier so that you'll follow through with them is to break them into bite-sized chunks. Okay? So take your goal. Let's say your goal is to write a book. The first thing you would do each week is literally pick something small. So you're going to make sure that, let's say you either start out writing 5 minutes a week. I actually told this to a client last week. If you want to start writing, make a plan to write 5 minutes a day in your first week. And then maybe your second week, you bump it up to 10 minutes. Okay? Even let's say something like a little goal, like, hey, I want to go to sleep. Because one of the biggest things, by the way, speaking of fun, fast, and easy, one of the hardest things to do is actually wake up early. But one of the biggest benefits you could do of your life is actually wake up early. So let's say, like successful people wake up early. It's just the truth. So one of my goals is actually shifting back into my routine because I was quite low energy during my pregnancy and after surgery. But so now I'm just getting back into the routine of trying to get up earlier. And it doesn't like, if you set your alarm for 5 a.m., you're probably going to fail because it's pretty hard to get up to 5 a.m. You have to do little steps. So the first step could be literally, okay, what time do I want to get up? 5 a.m. How much sleep do I need? I know I need at least 7 hours. Count 7 hours back. Okay, so I have to be asleep by 10 p.m. Now, if you've been going to bed at 1 a.m. every night or midnight every night, you can't just go to sleep at 10 p.m. There's many things that help your sleep. Reducing screen time an hour before. And then slowly cutting down, like going to bed a half an hour earlier each week. Starting kind of like a nighttime ritual where you're unwinding without screen time. Making your bedroom a place where only sleep happens. You know, these are all, we know these. And then we try and implement them all at once and we fail. Okay? This is literally, if you're going to do hard things, bite by bite by bite. Okay? So, this week, instead of going to bed at 1 a.m., I'll go to bed at 12:30, let's say. Next week, maybe I can go to bed at midnight or continue at 12:30 and add on no screen time for an hour before I go to bed. The third week, okay, going to bed at midnight, and I'm going to stop doing anything in my room that isn't to do with going to sleep. That's the third week. Okay, and you get my drift. Bite by bite. There's a couple things, to make this a little easier. Make sure to keep your surroundings if you have a goal. So let's say you have a goal to go to the gym. Your surroundings would be literally your shoes and your workout clothes are always by the door. That's how you change your environment first. And these are just a few tips that I want to give you. Because in 2020, we need to be done. We need to be done doing what's fun, fast, and easy if we want success, if we want money. Fear is real. Fear is real and keeping us stuck, and it's really, really hard to do what's scary because regret, fear of success, fear of failure, it all adds up. What time do we got here? 7:17. Okay, so I have a couple more minutes. You guys, weekly challenge. There's always a weekly challenge. Write down, and here we are, Q&A challengers too. Write down your top 3 goals. Write down your top 3 goals that you want to achieve by the end of 2020. And then pick your top goal and tell me what's the first step to achieving this goal. So let's say your goal is to be a successful business person 2020. What's the first step to do that? For me, I know one of my first steps is getting up early. But it also could be developing a marketing plan. Okay? And you're gonna chunk down those and start implementing habits each week. Small habits to get them done. Don't do it all at once. And really, we're just regular people, and we have a tendency, the human condition is to do what's fun, fast, and easy. Because we have fear. Because I like chips. And see, if you don't want to eat chips anymore, like chips are my favorite, if you don't want to eat chips anymore, don't cut them out of your life completely right away. That's setting yourself up for failure, because the human condition is we don't like to do what's hard. But I urge you to do what's hard by making it a little easier and chunking it down for 2020. Remember, chunking it down. And I want you guys, one of my favorite things to remind myself to do, to lean into my fear, do what's hard, and put in the work, is whenever I face something, I go, what would, where are you at right now? Who's the person you want to be? I call that your CCC version of yourself, your calm, confident, centered version of yourself. Mine is a $1 million businesswoman. Okay? And so I always say, what would a $1 million businesswoman do in this scenario? And now we know. Now we know what putting in the work is, and what's hard, and what's leaning into your fear. Check yourself. Check yourself this week. Am I doing what's fun, fast, and easy? Or am I actually going to put in the work here? Check yourself. Just become aware. The first step is awareness. Because we are doing what's fun, fast, and easy in so many areas of our life. And that's what's going to lead to failure. That is what's leading to failure. That's where I'm failing and not making decisions. Because I like to do what's fun, fast, and easy. We all do. Check yourself. Start with your goals. and be committed to it. And ask yourself, I mean, I'm all about balance, but ask yourself, is this what a $1 million businesswoman would do? Is this what a healthy person is? Whatever your CCC version of yourself is, your most calm, confident, centered version, your best person. Check yourself when you're about to do something that's fun, fast, and easy and not aligned with your goals. And ask yourself, what kind of choices would that person make? Would they get the bag of chips? No. Would they be working Saturday? Yes. Okay. Check yourself this week, get aligned with your goals, and chunk them down and make them easier. This concludes episode 2 of my podcast. Thank you for listening. I really hope that helped. I am going to bring you towards self-awareness and being a calm, confident, centered individual each and every week. And if you haven't checked me out on social, Instagram is Just Be Coaching. We got the 8-Day Chakra Cleanse on Facebook. LinkedIn is Brittany Marie Smith. And we also have a YouTube channel and blogs. JustBeCoaching.com, BrittanyMarieSmith.com. Mwah! Mwah! Until next episode, Chakra Warriors, thank you.